your best day as a Chicago Bear?
My favorite day as a Chicago Bear was I grew up in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and as I'm growing up, I'm having a lot of boyhood heroes, mostly in football. But the biggest one, because I played quarterback in junior high and high school, and my biggest quarterback favorite was another Pennsylvania person by the name of Joe Namath. And I'd actually met Joe one time at an event in Pittsburgh. I mean, not that he played for the Jets, but, you know, he grew up in Pittsburgh. And what a great guy. I mean, smiling all the time, very engaging. It's our third year. It was my third year in the NFL. On a Monday night, we were getting ready to play the Los Angeles Rams. And this was after he had just finished his career with the Jets. They had traded him to the Rams. And Joe Namath was the quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams. And he was going to play the Chicago Bears and Doug Plank in a Monday night game in Soldier Field. And, I mean, you can imagine, this is a guy that I had Joe Namath on all four of my bedroom walls, throwing the ball, throwing from Alabama, you know, to the New York Jets. And now, you know, I'm going to play against a guy that I idolized my whole life. And he's out there on the field, and he was throwing balls before the game. And, you know, I wasn't going to do anything so strange as go over there, hey, Joe, hey, sign my helmet. You know, can you do that? and act like a fool. I just thought maybe I'll see him afterwards, or I could talk to him afterwards and just tell him what a huge fan I was. But so the game goes on, and really the Rams are a better team than the Chicago Bears. Even with Joe Namath towards the end of his career, he still could throw that ball really, really well. It just so happens, you know, and I told you earlier, Brad, about, you know, some days are just your days. Things just happen for a reason. In that game, I had 2 interceptions. I actually had a third interception, but one of our defensive linemen lined up off sides. So, you know, the third interception I had that night from Joe Namath was called back. But, you know, so I had interceptions, I had plenty of tackles, and we end up beating the Rams that night on Monday night against Joe Namath. And I think, you know, with all the interceptions that he had thrown that night, because, you know, he threw me 2 that I had recorded, I think he might have thrown 2 other ones. So he had like 4 interceptions. And it was not a good night for Joe, you know, but, you know, you get towards the end of your career and you're the main target for a team. I remember we were putting in all kinds of special blitzes. You know, we were going to try to hit Joe as many times as possible. So I never really got a chance to, you know, talk to him after the game because we won and, you know, our locker room was just packed and stuff like that. And, but I remember, you know, afterwards just driving home and, you know, because my wife had driven with somebody else, and I'm just driving going, man, this is like a world, this is like a dream. I really truly felt like I was in a dream, and driving home just like, I just got 2 interceptions off Joe Namath. I'm telling myself, I'm just driving home thinking, wow, thank you. This is a great life, you know, that I have. I mean, I almost felt like I was in a movie, like it was movie time. And, you know, this only happens in Hollywood. And so that was probably my best dream of, you know, being a Chicago Bear, playing against, you know, a well thought of team in the Rams and, you know, beating them on Monday night, you know, in front of all the other NFL teams, you know, because everybody watched football on Monday night. You know, if you're a player, you're either going to play one of those teams or they're going to have some impact on your season. So you're always just, you know, watching it and knowing that, you know, you did all this in front of everybody else in the league.
That's awesome. That's a great one, Doug.